Emmerdale is about to deliver the kind of week that reminds you exactly why this show has kept audiences gripped for more than 50 years. Two massive storylines are colliding at the same time, and the fallout is going to be extraordinary. On one side, Charity Dingle, one of the most fearless and unpredictable characters in British soap history, is squaring up to Dr. Todd in a confrontation that has been building with incredible tension, and that promises to be one of the most dramatic face-offs the village has seen in a very long time. And on the other side, Mack is being taken away by the police in a development that is going to send shockwaves through his family and through the entire community. Two storylines, two explosive moments, and both of them happening at the same time. If you are an Emmerdale fan, and you are not already on the edge of your seat, you absolutely will be by the end of this video. There are weeks in soap opera that feel routine, episodes that move the pieces around the board without fundamentally changing the game. And then there are weeks like this one, weeks where everything accelerates, where tensions that have been quietly building suddenly reach breaking point, and where the consequences of choices made weeks or months ago finally come crashing down on the people who made them. This is one of those weeks for Emmerdale, and the dual storylines at the heart of it, Charity versus Dr. Todd, and the dramatic police intervention involving Mack, represent exactly the kind of bold, emotionally charged storytelling that the show does better than almost anyone. Both of these storylines have been carefully constructed over time. Neither of them has come out of nowhere. The writers have been patient, laying groundwork, developing character motivations, and building pressure in ways that make the imminent explosions feel entirely earned rather than manufactured. When Emmerdale is working at this level, it is genuinely compelling television, the kind of show that demands your attention and rewards it generously. In this video, we are going to break down both storylines in detail, explore the background and context that makes them so significant, look at how fans and the media have responded to the news, and think carefully about what these developments mean for the characters involved and for the show as a whole. There is a lot to cover, so let us get into it. To understand why these two storylines carry so much weight, you need to understand the characters at the center of them and the journeys that have brought them to this point. Let us start with Charity Dingle, because if you know Emmerdale at all, you know that Charity is not someone who backs down from a fight. She never has been. Since her arrival in the village, Charity has established herself as one of those rare soap characters who seems to operate on a different frequency from everyone around her, sharper, faster, more dangerous, and more emotionally complex than the situation usually calls for. She has survived things that would have broken most people. She has made choices that have appalled and alienated those closest to her, and she has demonstrated time and again a capacity for both breathtaking selfishness and fierce, almost feral protectiveness when someone she loves is threatened. The Charity Dingle who exists in Emmerdale today is a product of everything she has been through, the trauma of her past, the losses she has sustained, the relationships she has built and destroyed, and the hard-won self-knowledge that comes from surviving as many catastrophes as she has. She is funny and she is fierce and she is frequently infuriating, and she is also, at her core, someone whose deepest instinct is to protect the people she loves from the kind of pain she has experienced herself. That instinct is at the heart of her confrontation with Dr. Todd, and understanding it is essential to appreciating why this particular conflict matters so much. Dr. Todd is a character who represents a very specific kind of threat, the kind that Charity is uniquely positioned to recognize and uniquely motivated to confront. Without going into every detail of the backstory, the essential dynamic is one where Charity has identified something deeply wrong about Dr. Todd's behavior and has decided, in the way that only Charity can, that she is going to do something about it. This is not a situation where she has been asked to intervene or where she has stumbled into conflict accidentally. She has made a deliberate choice to take someone on, knowing the risks and accepting them, because the alternative, doing nothing, is simply not something she is capable of. Now let us talk about Mack, whose story is running in parallel with Charity's confrontation, and whose situation is in many ways the emotional counterpoint to Charity's fierce offensive energy. Mackenzie Boyd has been one of Emmerdale's most interesting characters since his arrival, a man whose charm and roguishness have always contained darker edges, whose likability has been consistently complicated by the choices he makes and the corners he cuts. Mack is the kind of character who you genuinely root for even when he is doing things that make you want to shake him, because there is always something real and human underneath the bravado and the bad decisions. His relationship with Charity, with Chloe, and with the wider community of the village has been a rich source of drama, And the storyline that has been building toward this police intervention has involved exactly the kind of moral and personal complexity that Emmerdale handles so well. Mack has been making choices, decisions that seemed manageable or justifiable in the moment, that have been quietly accumulating into something much more serious. The arrival of the police is not a sudden intrusion from outside the story. It is the inevitable consequence of a chain of events that the show has been carefully constructing, and it represents a moment of reckoning for a character who has been running from accountability in one form or another for a long time. Emmerdale itself has been in strong creative form recently, which makes this double-barreled dramatic week feel even more significant. The show has been juggling multiple complex storylines with considerable skill, moving between comedy and tragedy, between quiet character moments and explosive set pieces, in a way that reflects genuine confidence from the writing team. The decision to bring two major storylines to a head simultaneously is a bold one, but it is also the kind of bold decision that a show makes when it is feeling genuinely confident in its material and its cast. The village of Emmerdale, that fictional corner of the Yorkshire Dales that has been the setting for so much extraordinary drama over the decades, provides the perfect backdrop for both of these stories. There is something about the specificity of that setting, the way everyone knows everyone else's business, the way secrets are impossible to keep forever, and the way that community can be both a source of support and a source of suffocating pressure, that amplifies everything that happens there. Both Charity's confrontation and Mack's arrest will ripple outward through that community in ways that will be felt long after the immediate drama has subsided. So let us get into the specifics of what is actually happening, because both of these storylines are rich with detail and dramatic potential. Starting with Charity and Dr. Todd. The confrontation that is coming between these two characters has been described by those involved in the show as one of the most intense scenes that has been filmed recently, which is saying something for a show that has no shortage of intense scenes. Charity, operating on instinct and fury in the way she always does when she has identified someone as a threat, is going to go after Dr. Todd in a way that puts her directly in harm's way. This is not a confrontation from a safe distance. This is Charity doing what Charity does, which is walking straight into the fire because she believes it is the right thing to do and because she trusts her own ability to handle whatever comes next. What makes this particular confrontation so compelling is the nature of what Charity has discovered or concluded about Dr. Todd. The storyline has been building around questions of trust, professional conduct, and the abuse of power, themes that Emmerdale has always handled with considerable seriousness and care. Charity's decision to take Dr. Todd on directly, rather than going through official channels or waiting for someone else to act, is entirely consistent with her character, but also puts her in genuine danger. The stakes here are real, and the show has made sure that viewers understand exactly what Charity is risking. The scene itself, from what has been revealed, is extraordinary. Both performers have been praised by colleagues for the work they have done in this confrontation, and the indications are that it is the kind of material that stops you in your tracks. Charity at her best is an absolutely riveting screen presence, capable of communicating volumes with a look or a line reading, and when she is given material this serious and this meaningful to work with, the results can be genuinely unforgettable. There is also the question of what the confrontation's outcome will mean for everyone around Charity. She is not operating in a vacuum. The people who love her, who depend on her, who have already been affected by whatever Dr. Todd has done, are all going to be impacted by how this plays out. If Charity succeeds in exposing or stopping Dr. Todd, the relief and vindication will be enormous, but it will also open up a new set of complications as the truth of the situation becomes clear to the wider village. And if things go wrong, if Dr. Todd proves more dangerous or more powerful than Charity has calculated, the consequences could be severe. Now let us turn to Mack and the police intervention, which is running simultaneously and which carries its own enormous dramatic weight. The arrival of the police to take Mack away is the kind of moment that Emmerdale builds toward with meticulous care, and the groundwork that has been laid for this development makes the moment itself feel both shocking and entirely inevitable. Those are the best kinds of soap moments, the ones where you think simultaneously that you cannot believe it has come to this, and that of course it was always going to come to this. What has Mack done, or what is he suspected of having done, that has brought the police to his door? The specifics of the charges or suspicions involved are part of the storyline's unfolding tension, and the show has been careful to maintain genuine uncertainty about exactly how serious the situation is and what the legal consequences might be. What is clear is that this is not a minor matter, not a misunderstanding that can be cleared up with a conversation. This is something that has the potential to fundamentally alter Mack's life and the lives of everyone connected to him. The emotional impact of this moment on the characters around Mack is equally significant. Watching someone you love being taken away by the police is one of those experiences that changes everything, that forces everyone involved to confront questions about loyalty, truth, and what they are actually prepared to do for the people they care about. The characters who witness Mack's arrest are going to be processing what they have seen for a long time afterward, and their various responses to it will drive storylines forward in ways that will keep audiences engaged and emotionally invested. What gives both of these storylines their particular power is the way they connect to deeper themes that Emmerdale has been exploring throughout this period. Questions about justice and who gets to deliver it. Questions about the price of protecting the people you love. Questions about accountability and what it actually looks like when someone is forced to face the consequences of their choices. These are not lightweight soap plot devices. They are substantive dramatic themes being explored through characters that audiences genuinely care about, and the result is the kind of television that stays with you. The timing of both developments in the same week is clearly deliberate on the part of the production team. Running these two storylines in parallel creates a kind of dramatic resonance between them, an opportunity for the audience to draw connections and contrasts that deepen the impact of each individual story. Charity choosing to act, to take matters into her own hands, stands in interesting contrast to Mack being acted upon, having the consequences of his choices arrive for him whether he is ready for them or not. Both situations involve a reckoning, but they approach it from completely different directions. The audience response to both of these storylines has been immediate, passionate, and revealing about where Emmerdale's fanbase currently stands in relation to its major characters. The reaction to the Charity versus Dr. Todd confrontation has been dominated by a surge of enthusiasm and fierce support for Charity. Emmerdale viewers have always had a particular relationship with this character, one defined by the complicated mixture of exasperation and fierce loyalty that she tends to inspire. When Charity is doing something brave and reckless in the service of protecting someone she loves, that is when her audience loves her most completely, because it is when the best of her is on full display. Social media has been full of messages of support, declarations that Charity is exactly the kind of character British soap opera needs, and expressions of genuine excitement about what is coming. There has also been considerable discussion about the Dr. Todd side of the confrontation, with fans piecing together everything they know about the character and the storyline to form their own views about what Charity has discovered and what the outcome of their clash might be. Emmerdale fans are extraordinarily analytical and attentive, and the theorizing that has emerged across fan forums and social media platforms